Hi, this is Gautam. For today's episode, we're going to look at this book, Sugandhi, Alias Andal Devanayaki. This was written by T.D. Ramakrishnan in the year 2014 in Malayalam, and it was translated into English by author Priya K. Nair in 2017. This was a difficult novel to read for the first, few pages because there were two different timelines. So I had to get accustomed to that. One timeline is the contemporary world. You're in 2015 or 2016 Sri Lanka. The other timeline is thousands of years back, involving parts of southern Kerala, southern Tamil Nadu, and Sri Lanka. So, on this contemporary story, we get to understand writer director Peter Jeevanandam, who's supposed to direct a film or a documentary film which is supported by the Sri Lankan government. Now, through Peter Jeevanandam, we travel along his past and we know about a woman, Sugandhi, who was part of the resistance movement of civil war in Sri Lanka, and what exactly is she doing right now, or how the conflict affected Sugandhi. Now you come or you go back thousands of years, we hear about Devanayaki. Now, Devanayaki, if you take, she becomes a consort of Martandavarma, who's a king in southern Kerala. And we see as the kingdom of Kandalur, fights with Sholas, as there is struggle between Sholas and Sinhalese, how this war or how this struggle between different kingdoms affects the lives of Devanayaki. So the bottom line, which is connecting both these stories, is technically how war or how the strife between or the violence between different kingdoms will affect women and the innocent. Now, of the several techniques which are used by the author, one common theme is that innocence, irrespective of which domain they belong to or which kingdom they belong to, they are the ones who are badly damaged. And the second point which the author wants to insist through his methods of writing, because the two stories travel simultaneously. So once you get a grip of how the methodology of writing is used, automatically your mind begins to make connections and parallels between the two different storylines. And the author points out during war and during that rage and aggression, both the sides commit the same type of crimes. It doesn't matter who is right or who is wrong. At the end of the day, the victor will definitely try to humiliate and destroy the defeated. To describe about the writing techniques which are used, let's take the contemporary story. Peter Jivanandam, to do research on his documentary film, travels to northern Sri Lanka, and he comes across a war museum where they display weapons and then torture instruments which was used by the LTTE to harm civilians or to harm anyone who does not fall in line with the policy of the LTTE. Now that's properly displayed. Now till the end of the novel, this doesn't come back at all, come back to haunt the reader. But at the end, when the Sri Lankan army and the Sri Lankan officials want to harm protesters, want to harm people who speak against the Sri Lankan government, we come to an understanding that the weapons or the instruments which are used are very similar to the one which was actually shown in the Northern Sri Lankan Museum. So the point to be made, as you've already stated during the second discussion, is using this literary tool without not explicitly stating that this level of gore and violence is similar on both sides, author is able to properly drive home because the description and the style of writing is so much filled with horror that violence seeps through the pages. Keep this in mind that this is fiction and the author doesn't want to pass judgment on which side is right or which side is wrong, but to come to a general understanding that war as a common factor is damaging to all the innocents and people who are participating in it, and the most affected are women. Between the two stories, if you would ask me to pick one, I would definitely say the historical timeline, the story which happened 1,000 years ago, because we travel along with Devanayagi through different kingdoms and empires and see to exact revenge or to really seek what she need, to really get what she needs. She has to go to extreme extents, and whatever extent she goes, the pain and the fact that so many things have been lost during the war will never be redeemed. I just want to point out one thing before I end this video. Please remember that this novel has definitely a lot of events which will make the reader feel a lot of despair and horror. So keep that in mind before you proceed with it. So this is an exceptional piece of work, and this will stand the test of time. That's it for now. Meet you with the next episode soon. Bye for now.